Martin Luther King had a dream, and that dream became today's reality. We now can live being judged of our hearts and character instead of the color of our skin. He gave a speech entitled, I Have a Dream, and his speech spoke of a united nation. He desired to help that change occur, and losing his life was the outcome. He will always remain a true hero and idol because of his courage and determination. My topic is about a life-changing civil rights activist known as Martin Luther King. I chose this topic to inform you of the significant impact he had on today's world. I obtained most of my information from history classes, but I also done my own individual research on the significance of Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King is a civil rights activist. A civil rights activist is a person who is dedicated to securing equal rights and opportunities for minorities. Martin Luther King also had a goal, and his goal to achieve was equality. Equality is the equal state of status, rights, and opportunities. As David, Camille, Neil, and Rebecca mentioned in their article, Martin Luther King's Civil Rights Movement and Fight Against Segregation, they stated that King led a movement, the Civil Rights Movement, which sought to end segregation and discrimination. He struggled as an African American. During Martin Luther King's lifetime, black people couldn't interact with white people. They attended separate schools, churches, restaurants, movie theaters, and so on. They couldn't even drink from the same water fountains. Without being able to interact with others, black people were disadvantaged to progress in life. Since minorities were disadvantaged of many things, Martin Luther King took a stand to make a change. Martin Luther King had a dream of equality and began to try to make his dream come true. As Rufus stated in the theology of Martin Luther King, he stated that Martin Luther King used acts of nonviolence to fight for equality of minorities. He gave speeches, and statistics show that I Have a Dream was Martin Luther King's most popular and influential speech. He also encouraged marches, protests, and boycotts. Regardless of the consequences, Martin Luther King only became a stronger, positive figure to society. Martin became stronger, and this caused the people against him to become angrier. Martin gave advice and suggestions that many people took heed to, but many people also opposed. Martin Luther King influenced the civil rights movement in positive ways. The movement began to progress due to Martin Luther King's encouragement of protests and boycotts, and his speeches also served power towards the progression of civil rights movements. Martin Luther King had the hugest impact on today's society. Martin's courage and determination paid off. His works of nonviolent protest helped to result in a world of unity. In the biography from the KingCenter.com website, it stated that Martin Luther King's philosophy of nonviolent actions reordered the priorities of this nation. And from Martin Luther King's works, we can now live by being judged of our hearts and characters instead of the color of our skin. And for this reason, Martin Luther King will always remain a significant, true hero in my eyes, and hopefully in your eyes also.